Third player ever to win the Masters at 25 years or younger. He was dominant throughout the weekend. A bit of a stumble on Sunday, but
$2.88 million. That is the exact amount of prize money Scottie Scheffler left on the table in the last 14 days. Not because he played badly, not because he missed cuts, not because he was injured. He was right there both times. On the 72nd hole in a playoff, the best player in the world, and he came home empty. 2 tournaments, 2 final holes, 2 Europeans who walked away with everything, while Scheffler stood and watched. And now a question is spreading through professional golf that nobody expected to be asking about the world number one this deep into 2026. What is actually happening to Scottie Scheffler? Last Sunday at Harbortown Golf Links, Scheffler stood in the 18th fairway during a sudden death playoff against Matt Fitzpatrick. He had the advantage off the tee. 18 yards ahead, both players in the fairway, wind swirling off the water. Everything set up. He needed a birdie to win the RBC Heritage and $3.6 million. His approach came up short of the green. His chip tracking toward the hole stopped 18 inches away. Fitzpatrick, who had just bogeyed the same hole in regulation to hand Scheffler the playoff, then hit a laser 4-iron from 204 yards against a hard right-to-left wind and left it 13 feet from the pin. He made the birdie. He took the trophy. He took the $3.6 million. Scheffler took $2.16 million for second. It was the second consecutive week Scheffler had finished runner-up. 7 days earlier at Augusta National, he had finished 1 shot behind Rory McIlroy at the Masters, collecting $2.43 million against McIlroy's $4.5 million winner's check. Back-to-back signature events, back-to-back Europeans winning, back-to-back second places for the man who is supposed to be the best player alive. But here is what separates this story from an ordinary cold streak. Scheffler is not losing because he is playing poorly. He is losing because at the exact moment it matters most, the final hole, the final shot, the playoff, something is going wrong. And when you dig into the pattern, into the specific moments where Scheffler has come up short, a picture emerges that the golf world is only beginning to talk about. This is not about 2 unlucky weeks. This is about a question that has been building all season. To understand what is happening now, you have to go back to what Scheffler built. Between 2022 and 2025, Scottie Scheffler assembled one of the most dominant 4-year runs in the history of professional golf. 2 Masters titles, a PGA Championship, the Open Championship, 20 PGA Tour victories, the FedEx Cup. He reached world number 1 and never gave it back. He was so consistent, so mechanically precise, so mentally locked that the conversation in golf stopped being about who would beat him and started being about whether anyone could. His caddy, Ted Scott, who has been on his bag since 2021, reportedly earned somewhere between $2.4 million and $3 million from Scheffler's prize money in 2025 alone. That is the kind of earnings that only happen when the player you work for is winning constantly. And Scheffler was, until something shifted. The 2026 season did not start the way Scheffler's seasons usually start. He was not collecting wins in the early months the way the golf world had come to expect. The signature events came, the fields were loaded, and Scheffler was competitive, always competitive, but the wins were not coming at the rate they had before. Then the Masters arrived, Augusta National, his tournament, the place where he had won twice and built his legend. He played the first 2 rounds behind the field. His Saturday was brilliant. A 3rd round that got him back into contention. His Sunday was controlled and dangerous. He came to the 72nd hole, 1 shot behind Rory McIlroy. He needed a birdie on 18 to force a playoff. He made par. McIlroy made par. McIlroy won. 1 shot, 1 hole. And Scheffler came home without a green jacket for the first time in 3 years of trying to defend. Then came Harbortown, and this is where the story shifts from unfortunate to genuinely alarming for anyone in Scheffler's corner. He entered the final round 7 shots behind Fitzpatrick. His Saturday 64 was one of the rounds of the tournament. He clawed back. He birdied 15. He birdied 16. He was one behind with one hole to play, and Fitzpatrick was shaking. Fitzpatrick bogeyed the 72nd hole. Scheffler made par. They were tied. In the playoff, Scheffler had every advantage. He was 18 yards closer off the tee. He was hitting first, and when his approach came up short, CBS commentator Jim Nantz could not hide his disbelief on live television. It was not the shot of a man who was simply unlucky. It was the shot of a man who, when the tournament was right there to be taken, did not take it. Fitzpatrick then hit the shot of the week under maximum pressure and made the putt. Scheffler walked off the course having left $1.44 million on the table in a single afternoon. Here is what makes this situation impossible to ignore. After the RBC Heritage result, Matt Fitzpatrick passed Scottie Scheffler to become the leading prize money earner on the PGA Tour in 2026. Fitzpatrick has collected $9.2 million this season. Scheffler sits second at $8.4 million. The world number one, the man who has won more often and more dominantly than anyone in professional golf over the last 4 years, is currently being out-earned by a player ranked third in the world. Fitzpatrick has 2 wins this season. Scheffler has none. And within those 2 Fitzpatrick wins are 2 Scheffler runner-up finishes, 2 occasions where Scheffler did everything required to win, battled back, got himself into position, made the weekend charge, and then at the critical final moment came up one shot or one stroke short of the man standing across from him. That pattern has a name in golf, and nobody wants to say it out loud about Scheffler yet, but they are thinking it. Scheffler himself addressed it after Harbour Town, and his words were telling. "I think in both weeks I put myself behind the 8 ball going into the weekend," he said. "On Sunday, it's a shot here or there that makes a difference. This was one of those weeks where anytime Fitzy needed something to happen, he made something happen." Read that again. Scheffler is describing what Fitzpatrick did, made things happen when it mattered, because it is the same description of what he himself did not do. He is the world's best player. His statistics and his self-assessment line up, but statistics do not win trophies. And right now a pattern is forming where the tournaments are being won by the player who does not flinch in the final moment. And that player twice in 2 weeks has not been Scottie Scheffler. The golf world is split on what this means. One camp says 2 weeks is nothing, that Scheffler's body of work is so dominant that a fortnight of runner-up finishes proves nothing, except that the field is getting better, that McIlroy is playing the best golf of his career, that Fitzpatrick is having a career season, that eventually Scheffler's class will reassert itself, and he will win again, and everyone will move on. The other camp is asking a harder question, whether the mental edge that separated Scheffler from the field for 4 years is showing the first signs of erosion. Not collapse, not crisis erosion, the kind that is almost invisible until you look at the pattern and realize the wins are not coming the same way they used to. Matt Fitzpatrick, when asked about beating Scheffler twice this season, did not hide behind pleasantries. He said, "To go out today and go toe-to-toe with Scottie and get over the line there on the 73rd is special. That is not the language of a man who considers Scheffler unbeatable. That is the language of a man who believes he can win when it matters. Scheffler is committed to the Cadillac Championship next. Then he will defend the PGA Championship at Aronimink Golf Club outside Philadelphia, an event he won last year on a course that suits his game, in front of a crowd that expects him to dominate. By every objective measure, Scottie Scheffler is still the best player in professional golf. His world ranking says so, his earnings say so, his shot-making says so. But the trophies tell a different story right now. 2 chances in 2 weeks to close, 2 Europeans who closed harder, and a question that will not go away until Scheffler answers it the only way that matters. By winning, the PGA Championship is 3 weeks away. The whole golf world will be watching to see if Scottie Scheffler still knows how to be the last man standing